and I'm every creative writer in the world. And I need your help. The world is constantly changing, which is why it's our duty. No, it's our responsibility to inspire creativity. My creative writing tips, tricks, and strategies are gonna help you become a better writer, so that way you can beat procrastination. Join me on this journey to unite the creative writing industry. And let's inspire creativity in the world together. What does creative writing mean to you? Welcome to Kauffman Writes, the first creative writing live stream for inspiration, motivation, and maybe a little bit of procrastination. But don't worry, we'll do it together. All right, and welcome to our Monday live stream, super casual. The weekends are always very crazy. So I like to make Mondays very, very easy with just some writing sprints, nothing exciting planned. I'd love to hear what your how your writing's going. Definitely drop it in the comments. Hey, what's up, Marta? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome. I'm like, good day would probably be the right one for all of our international audiences. I know how late it is for you over there. I hope I hope the writings process is treating you all right. I hope over the weekend you're able to get a little bit of writing. Finally, you survived. I know, you and me both. Sounds like it was a crazy weekend. Oh man. The great thing with the weekends is we always get to do, I always have so much more planned, especially with the live streams between the critique show and then the podcast. The downside is I don't always get as much time with Last Scarecrow. So today I'm hoping to make some good progress with it. If you're just joining on the live stream, it's just going to be super easy. We're going to do some writing sprints. I got our normal Atomic Elf fantasy playlist queued up. We'll do 20-minute writing sprints. We'll see however long I feel like going. We'll probably do 2 or 3 and then mix them up with some breaks in between. Let's see. Right now you're writing the bachelor's thesis for someone else. Ooh, making that money, I see, my friend. You know what? You got to do what you got to do. Hopefully it's not too difficult of a thesis project. Hopefully it's an easy one. Sometimes you need that inspiration when you like have to write something, right? I remember the days of school and procrastinating through the late nights of school. You know, when you have that writing project and it's due and you got weeks and then suddenly it's due tomorrow. You're not a true writer if you don't know how to put the pro in procrastination. Money. I know, that's got to figure out how to make that moolah somehow, right? Whether we're doing it through gig work or hoping to get our story to that next best point. And speaking of stories, over the weekend, I did a really cool podcast on Sunday with Chris Lilly over from Flow Your Mojo, and he did a live tarot reading for me. Now, if you weren't there, like, make sure you definitely go check it out. It was a cool, very cool video podcast, but he did a tarot reading for me. And the question that I asked him was about my story, Last Scarecrow. And he did a full little like 10-minute deep dive on navigating this problem that I'm dealing with Last Scarecrow. So let me pull my writing up. I'm eager to hop into it. Oh, it's not a good look. Now let's try that again. There we go. Second time's the charm. So I am at about 73. I think I'm like 73, 74%. There we go. There's that 73, 74%. And let me tell you, like, he gave me some really great ideas for what I'm working with the Last Scarecrow. Right now, our characters are like almost we're basically at the end of Act 2. And I'm trying to figure out how I want to get them through this graveyard specifically to get them to this major plot point that's about to happen. So let's see. We're just going to hop into it. I'm going to see how I'm feeling creatively. All right. So I got 20 minutes on the clock. There we go. There's our writing sprint. Feel free to join along. Let's say if it's been a long weekend or a day for you, feel free to kick back, chill with the music, and I will write vicariously for the both of us. All right, let's cue that up. We got the music going. Perfect. All right. And I got 20 minutes on the clock. And it's time right now. Hey, what's up, Atomic? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Super chill writing sprints today. Oh, keeping it casual. Hey, what's up, Steph? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. How's the writing treating both of you guys? Any of you guys had luck on your writing at all this past couple days? I know both of you actually have like really huge words that you're working on. Thanks, Stephanie. That's actually, let's see. Well, it sucks that you weren't really able to write too much, but the fact that you only have 8 chapters left, that sounds like a huge success, huge win. Sounds like you're getting close to the end of your of this like editing spree. I feel like when you get close to the end of a draft, that's it's just exciting, right? Because you know you're there, and then you know you can either like take a break for a second, let it cool down before you hop into the next draft. It's really awesome, and I know like how long your story is too. So it's probably good that you've been super consistent. Maybe the world's trying to tell you that you need to take a breather for a second. Hey, what's up, Sean? Welcome, my man. Let's see, can I say I love when you type, delete, then go on a long stretch. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. The mark of a true writer. Absolutely. Thanks so much, my dude. All right. Good writing sprint. Good, nice little writing sprint. First one, I felt pretty good about that one. Awesome. Let's see who we got. Looks like we got some people here in the jazz. People here in the jazz. Oh my god. Some people here in the comments. Let's see what we got. Welcome by the way, Nil. Welcome, John. Welcome, you guys. I'm just doing a super casual writing stream today because weekends are always so crazy for me. I'm kind of like Mondays. I kind of feel that like need where I'm like, "Oh, I want to get back into Last Scarecrow," especially as I'm getting to this point in the story. I'm like, I'm motivated. I want to finish this rough draft. Actually, I want to write the climax and have with all the fun that I have planned for it. Let's see. Stephanie, guys, what are you saying? Atomic, you're saying I took a break from my series last couple of days and did some brainstorming on some other story ideas. Yeah, that's always good. I mean, if you're ever feeling like burnt out on a piece of work, that's always not a bad idea. But it looks like you're contemplating whether to try doing some weekly serial stories on a site like Ream, Wattpad, Kindle Vella, Royal Road, etc. That could be a good opportunity. I think it really just comes down to like, what's your goal with your writing, right? So if your goal is to get into like a consistent pattern where you're just writing weekly, doing something on one of those websites is going to be good because it's going to further elevate a consistent lifestyle. And then you may or may not get validation just by putting it on there, right? Whereas for someone, if you're working to write a book to make money, it's a completely different goal. So I think just clarifying what your goal is, like, I think that's absolutely a great strategy. I know I've heard good things about Kindle Vella. I've heard good things about that program. Definitely worth looking into. You should definitely do it, my man. And if you try out any of those programs, let me know how it goes. I'd be curious to kind of learn more. It's not a format that I've dug too much into yet. Stuff. It looks like, yep, when I'm done with this one, I'll be editing what I have written for the sequel. I'll be writing the middle and the ending of the sequel. Yeah, I know you're really good about working on multiple books at a time. Like, good for you. I'm like, I ask myself if working on multiple books in the same series, like if I'm going to do that. I'm not sure yet. I am not sure yet. I have so many different stories in the catalog. I'm almost like feel the urge to maybe want to return to a previous story after this. I might go into a script after this actually, just for a change of pace, because I love novel writing just as much as I love script writing. And I think storytelling itself is the same. The storytelling principles, character building or character development, world building, and so on and so forth is the same exact thing in a script or a novel. The difference is the way they're formatted and what we're highlighting to tell the story. So, but that's really awesome. Good luck with that. Absolutely good luck. I like Last Scarecrow is definitely written as it'll probably be a longer standing world. Not probably, like it will. The overall story arc will definitely span more than one book, but this story specifically is Last Scarecrow's story. So I imagine if I did future books in the Last Scarecrow in the world, they would probably revolve around other protagonists. Wow, that must be a really interesting read, John. If you're editing an article on Marxism, I don't know too much about Marxism, but that must be a really interesting read. Is Free the People a magazine? It kind of sounds like an online magazine of some type. Woo! Marta making some money. That's what's up. Amazing, my friend. Absolutely amazing. Right? The fact, like, for us wanting to be able to try to make money through our writing, like, that's success. Really great work. That's awesome. Y'all crack me up. You know what? Whatever we can do, right, to make money. Um, I mean, we got to get creative in this day and age, right? If we're Yeah, I think we got to get creative, right? And I think if we're selling a service that somebody's willing to buy and spend money for, then you do your best as long as you're clearly communicating what value that you're bringing. Um, yeah, that can be very successful and very helpful. What's that saying go? It's know the rules before you can break them, but it's only a problem if you get caught, right? That's awesome, Marta. I asked myself how I would market for something like that. That'd be a tough one. That'd have to be like word of mouth of like talking to people that like I would know. I think if I was still in college, I think that would be an easy service to sell. Like I could tell people about it. And any way that helps people save time, it's an absolutely great strategy. Let's see. You wrote an article about how there's no real communism in the world today, only oligarchies. That's a really very interesting interesting topic, very interesting debate, especially in this current day and age. I know there's a lot of oligarchies for sure. There are definitely a lot of oligarchies there. I don't know if I'd agree that every nation is an oligarchy, but I'm also not too well researched on the subject. But I would see that being like a very good like stepping stone for like setting a debate, for being able to talk with other people. Like that would be a really good hot button issue to get people wanting to talk about that, John. That's really cool. Atomic, I love it. Walter White was a great communicator. I mean, you kind of have to be a great communicator if you're going to become a meth kingpin, right? And dealing with gangs on the underworld. Right? Usually our favorite characters tend to be incredible communicators, even if they have a weakness that is usually if they have a weakness that has something to do with their appearance or something to do with the way they speak or how they speak, they're usually 9 times out of 10 still a great communicator. They just communicate well in a different aspect, in a different fashion. Oh man, let's see. Marta, you're saying during my whole life, I've written 9 bachelor master's thesis already. Wow. You must be really helping out some writers over there. Good thing their education is so well spent, right? Oh man. That's so crazy to me. Like I understand how like time consuming writing a thesis is. Like I remember that from at least from my bachelor's. But I'm like, if I was paying that much money to go to a college, I don't think I could ever like personally myself never pay somebody else. I wouldn't feel guilty about the process. I would feel like, hey, I paid for this. Like I gotta suffer. If I'm paying for something, I gotta suffer through the experience. I have to learn from it at least. Oh man, but I remember that the education journey, right? Especially when you've been in school for years and you're just ready to like cross the finish line, jump over it. You're like, I'll do whatever it takes. So I could see how people would want to pay for it. Communism was a great thought exercise, not so great in practice. Yeah, I mean, I think with every type of societal structure like that, I personally believe that there's pros and cons. What's what's the right type of structure for society? I have no freaking clue. Like my guess is a great society would probably work well if it had elements of a lot of different type of societies, but like man, I have no clue. I think the only way I'd like really be able to know is like if I was more into history, looking at different societies which did well and flourished, and then probably looking at like the strengths and trying to see like, okay, the strengths of like communism or the strengths of Marxism, and trying to really understand of like, okay, why did these things, what elements made it work, and then what elements made it not work. And I think that's like an excellent exercise actually in world building. Excellent exercise in world building now that I think about it. Let's see. It's a way for me to get exposure as a writer. This will be my 3rd article for them if they want it. It is good for my writing portfolio. Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. That's really incredible, man. And I think it sounds like it's something you're might be passionate about, which is cool, or at least knowledgeable about, which is even better. Um, and like that's what it really comes down to, right? Like we got to build up the writing portfolio somehow, right? Especially if we want to get hired for more things and make a living off of our writing. Absolutely agreed. I like with my article writing, I think most of my article writing right now is predominantly in Medium. I'm not writing for any published, any like magazines or article or things like that, but maybe in the future. I think all the articles I've written are all like how to articles on helping writers improve. So I think that's really what I try to specialize and focus right now on helping writers get better and improve their writing. I could probably branch out and do more, but I feel like my mind says like, all right, focus on the one thing and just do that a million times over for a couple of years. I think that's the way to do it. It seems to be working so far. Let's see. My father said school is not so much about learning as it is about learning how to learn. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually a really great quote. School is not so much about learning as it is about learning how to learn. I think with education, right? I think there's pros and cons, right? I went through the UC system in California, and I definitely learned a lot of things, but also highly burdened by student debt. And I think when you go through education, I can only at least speak to California and probably generally the US. You're they unless you're going for a specialized practice, like a doctor or something that's very specialized like that, they're generally teaching you how to be an employee at heart, right? You're being taught that if you get good grades, you will do well, and if you get bad grades, you will do horribly. But that's not how life works. You don't like you could do well on things and still do horribly. You could do badly on things and still do well. And I think it's interesting why we see a lot of like really big business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, and I'm probably just so inspired by this process because I'm in the process of building up my own business. But that's why you see so many of them either didn't go to college or were dropouts. Because through what I've continued to learn about entrepreneurship is that like you're going to fail a million times, and those who succeed are those who just don't give up and those who keep trying, but are doing it in a way that's strategic. So that's my 2 cents for the day. Kauffman thinks. Oh man, I once wrote an article for Forbes. That's awesome, Marta. That's Forbes is a big magazine. That's amazing. I'm curious. Do you probably had that article in like a portfolio or something somewhere? I think portfolios are so important, especially for us to like get exposure and get our work out there, depending on what our goals are. All right, awesome. Well, I think that was a good little break. All right, let me hop into. I'm going to do a second writing sprint. Let's get into Last Scarecrow. I'm figuring out this graveyard scene. Let me tell you, this graveyard scene is a doozy, and that writing the tarot reading from yesterday's podcast was definitely an interesting experience for sure. Definitely gave me some really good ideas. I've been playing around with different ways that I want to go about this. All right, we're gonna try something fun. So let's see how this goes. All right, and let me pull back up. Let's hop into the writing sprint. All right, and I am all set again. Same old, same old. Let's get the music playlist back up. Atomic, your normal playlist as usual. All right, I'm all set. 20 minutes on the clock, and it's time to write now. All right, all right, all right. There we go. Good little writing sprint. Wonderful. I very much felt accomplished with that writing sprint. I so like I was playing around with ideas. So clearly I have these characters, right? They're going through this graveyard, and I've been asking myself how much tension did I want to build up before they solve the thing or get further in it. And I wanted to continue further building this tension. And I kind of realized earlier in the chapter on their way to the graveyard that there's this building tension between the grizzly bear and the skunk. And I really wanted to play on that. And I think it will actually, in the second draft, I'll probably find a couple more things to really make the skunk and the grizzly bear to make their frustration at each other a little bit more evident when I go through the second draft. But yeah, I wanted to build up that tension because where there's some big things about to happen. And I think I was feeling like it right now it feels a little too easy. They're traveling through a graveyard, they're basically surrounded by fog, and they're just passing tombstone after tombstone. And it feels timeless, but I think I wanted to build up that tension between them. And I think that was good, as now Scarecrow has finally thought of something different as the quill, who they, as shared previously, that the quill's the only one who knows where this magic is kept for them to combat the first demon. So that's where I'm leaving off. I'm happy with what I got. Tomorrow I'll get to work on the next bit of this puzzle. I really want this puzzle to be fun. I want it to feel like a very fun, mysterious experience. So we'll see where that comes. Yeah, so we got some good writing sprints in today. By the way, if you're enjoying the writing sprints or the stream, tap that like button. Let me know that you got value from it. Like I said, wanted to keep Monday super casual, and I appreciate y'all. And if you're looking for something to watch next, make sure if you missed the Creative Right Now podcast from yesterday, How to Channel Your Inner Writer. It was a really great experience over in the Kaufman's Corner YouTube channel. It was a really great interview, really fun. We did a live tarot reading and we talked through a lot of elements on how are you really finding your inner writer, especially as it pertains to using tarot cards, as it pertains to using images. We touched on a number of different topics. We touched on publishing. We touched on breaking free from a 9-to-5 job as a writer. So we touched on some really interesting topics. Definitely make sure you go check it out if you haven't already. And that's what I got for you today, creative writers. Tomorrow, I'll be back with our Story Structure Tuesdays, as that has been proven that to be the most popular. This week, by the way, make sure that you're joining us for the workshops this week. I'm going to try something different, and we're going to build a world together. We're going to build a world with Story Structure Tuesday. We're going to, so we'll plot out the structure. Wednesday, on World Building Wednesday, we will put together a world. I think we'll do it. And then Friday, we'll put two characters together. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll have it be super fun. And that's all that I got for you today, creative writers. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kauffman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers.